Hi, my name is Sean Clark and you're watching Collection Complete, which is because no collection is ever complete, my friend. I've always just been a little bit of a hoarder. It's kind of a bad obsession, but I'm a good hoarder. I mean, because I'm an organized hoarder, you know, where some people you gotta go through the house and step over and everything. I'm one of these guys that has it at least fairly organized. Both my parents worked full time. I was a latchkey kid. I'd come home to an empty house by myself a lot. So that's how I occupied my time, you know, living in my own little fantasy world. My parents had me when I was they were like 17, 18. So they went to horror films and they were into horror films and they couldn't afford a babysitter, so they'd take me. I mean, I saw The Exorcist at like age 4 in the theater. I saw Chainsaw Massacre at like age 5 in the theater. It kind of made me think that this is normal, you know, that seeing horror films, going to horror films, that's normal. So I became obsessed with them. And I was seeing films like Halloween and Friday the 13th and stuff like that. And they weren't really into it anymore, but I was getting into them. Every once in a while they'd take me to the movies, like we saw The Shining, still my all-time favorite horror film. But they kind of got out of it. My dad's sister, my Aunt Robin, she would take me to the horror films, and she was great. She was my horror buddy. I'd like, you know, hey, will you take me to see this and that? And I remember one night we went and saw a double feature of the Funhouse and Halloween 2. And that night still is one of my favorite nights because those are two of my favorite films.
The Funhouse.
So here we have my screen-used Funhouse items. These are one of the prizes of my collection. I'm a massive fan of the film Funhouse. And I had the pleasure of working with Wayne Doba, who played the Funhouse freak in the film, Gunther. He told me that he still had his mask and the Frankenstein mask and the hands and the teeth. And I begged him for probably about 5 years, maybe longer. Please, please, please sell them to me. And one day I got him to at least take them out of the box and take pictures of them, and they were in rough shape. And I said to him, I go, look, man, you keep them in that box in the closet much longer, you're gonna have a box of dust. Let me take them, let me get them fixed and preserved, and, you know, so the fans can see them. Casey Wong and Darren Roberts worked on both of these, and they restored it, and you can see the wires coming out underneath here. Originally in the film, the actual eyes lit up, so those are the wires for the eyes. Now, the appliance actually went over the top of the actor's mouth and then went down here under the lip. So the bottom lip you see in the film was actually Wayne's real lip. So what we did for display purposes is they made a casting of the real teeth. These are the screen-used teeth that Wayne Doba used in the film. So they did a casting of these teeth, and then they made replicas. And then they sculpted a bottom lip and put the replicas in. And this is where the foam goes. You can see the line there, the foam goes underneath. So it looked displayed properly like a full head. The only thing I'm missing is the hair. Because apparently in the film they had one mesh wig, and as the foam would get torn or whatever, they would take the wig off and put it on the next head. Nobody knows who has the original wig, and I only know one other creature head to exist, and Howard Berger has it. This is the Frankenstein mask, which was a store-bought mask. A company called Savage Eye Studios used to make this mask. And Craig Reardon, who did the effects for the film, just customized it, like did this thing here with the stitching and added a few little things here and there to make it a little different. This was the hardest piece to restore. It had a lot of rot. As you can see, the bottom is real crispy. In fact, recently a little piece just came off, you know. If anybody wants to make an offer on that, you know, email me. I'll see if a little piece of the Funhouse. And this head here was sculpted by Rick Baker. If you look here, I'll move this around. Look real close on the back. You can see the zipper. See right there the stamp, Rick Baker, 1980. These were really thick latex gloves. Very thick, as you can see. So these aren't rotten anytime soon. These suckers are thick. Although they did get a little hard in the tips of the fingers, but down here, I wouldn't dare try to put them on. And then this, obviously I got this really cool letter with some Polaroids from Wayne Doba, who played the creature, kind of a little COA. And lastly, Miles Chapin, who played Richie in the film, was kind enough to give me his broken glasses that were crudely glued back together there, as you can tell, but these are the glasses, or at least one of the pairs of glasses that Richie wears in the film. And he's the guy that suggests they spend the night in, as he says, the Funhouse. Yeah, I'm a geek.
I am a vintage, mass-marketed children's toy from the 80s, standing right in front of you.
So right now I'm going to show you my Chucky doll from the film Cult of Chucky. This was a screen-used doll that I obtained from effects master Tony Gardner. I'll take him out. He's been sitting in here keeping Annabelle company, you know, because, you know, guy and a girl hanging out together, it's kind of like love, these two.
What are you doing?
What Tony did with this particular doll is he weighted the butt so it could sit. As you can see, I'm just kind of sitting in the palm of my hand. But he also did an attachment to the neck so it moved when someone was carrying it. It did that, like it moved. He wanted to have that action, so people were carrying it. So anytime in the movie when you see someone carrying the doll, it's this one. And now Trick or Treat Studios is making replicas that probably gonna look exactly like this from the pictures I saw. I don't know what the actual differences will be until I see one side by side with this one. It is true when really, really, really good replicas start coming out of something, it does kind of hurt the value of the originals. Kiss, for example, which I'm a big Kiss collector, keep reissuing like old merchandise, exact replicas, but obviously you can tell the differences because they'll have different copyrights and things on them. It kind of discourages people to go after the original stuff because you can get something brand new that looks just like the original. But anyway, he'll always be worth a ton. And he'll always be sitting in here, keeping her company